Good evening, welcome to March 10th, 2022 Planning Board meeting. Short agenda. We all know the master plan didn't pass, right?
We do.
Okay. Try again next year.
What will southern New Hampshire do for us?
Charge us a lot of money.
Well, the only thing is, I wonder if no means no. We can't do anything. Right? If your article passed for master plan update, no means no.
No means we don't get 20 grand.
But no means no, you stated your intent.
Pardon me?
In the article, you stated your intent. Were you asking what they could do for you as part of it? If they can do stuff for free, I'm sure we can't pay for anything.
Right, we can't
Yes.
pay for it.
Right, okay, sorry.
But they aren't gonna do anything for free. We've had them in here asking what they
I'm
could
just
do and how much it's
saying.
gonna cost and everything else, and it was like, I don't remember.
They
what
almost
it
want
was.
to charge us to give us a proposal.
Yeah.
So when without the money, we can't do anything?
Right, because there's a state
Master
law
plan.
that says no means no.
Yeah, money-wise, but what's the law read concerning how that master plan gets reviewed?
Well, I think you guys could undertake it yourselves
I'm not
without
willing
any
to do
money.
that. That's a pretty good sized dock.
Oh,
That's
my
a
Lord.
huge
I'm
undertaking.
just saying.
Yeah, I know, but I was just curious what it takes. Can we, whether this board does it, or this board appoints, or the selectman appoints?
So we tried that a couple of years ago. There was an article for the selectmen to take care of appointing a committee for the master plan. It never went very far.
Okay.
As soon as they started doing a little legwork and figuring out the kind of work it took.
It takes a
Well,
lot
when
of
was the
work.
master plan done?
2005?
So did that, we have, is that what we did as far as prelim stuff at John Stark?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was part of that.
We did a
Charrette.
charrette.
Yeah.
Yeah, you broke off into different rooms and different
Yep.
sections of it, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it went pretty smooth, actually,
It did,
yeah.
but we had Southern New Hampshire orchestrate that, it took the town's input, because if you were interested in existing land or future uses, or you had different rooms you could go off, and they had an easel, and you could just,
And that was the data collection part, and then
it was
someone's
the
got
data
to,
collection part, yeah,
then someone's got to tabulate all the data.
and the maps were done,
you
yeah,
know.
but the town had the opportunity for input, yeah.
So is that what you're thinking of as to what we need to do again? Or do we just need to review what we have and tweak what we have?
I was hoping to update roughly a third of it. Because the whole thing's gonna cost about 60 grand.
Was that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what Southern New Hampshire planning told us 4 or 5 years ago.
I doubt we can get Southern New Hampshire Planning to do it for 60 grand. We're gonna have to go to,
What did it cost the last time? We probably don't know.
that was 16 years ago.
I remember Paul Moran saying 30,
Paid every 10 years, it's been.
About 30 grand?
yeah,
A little outdated.
I think.
So
There
is
was a
it,
lot of volunteer work that went into it.
Right,
Well,
It
there
still
will
costs
be,
30
there
grand.
still will be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so,
is there a section you think that,
No, that's what I was gonna talk about tonight, if we got some money, but we don't have any money, so.
no, I just
Right,
didn't
but
know
I-
if there's a section, I'm just asking. At your work sessions. Up to you.
I don't think we have the expertise to update a chapter, if that's what you're saying.
Okay.
I know I don't.
I don't have the time this year to put much into it.
You hope.
so is there a need for us to do an education piece prior to the warrant going to the people? Whether we present to the select board a vision as to the necessity of this? I know, I wasn't at the deliberative session, but I know several stood up to come to advocate for it and explain why it's necessary, I believe.
Yeah.
That's what I was told. So is there a need for us
I know
to do an
at-
education
At the
piece?
deliberative session, there's a real consensus from everybody there that.
Yeah,
it
that we
needs to
should
be done,
do
you know?
it, yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
And I was just surprised that didn't go.
Well, the first thing you'd have to do is go talk to the finance committee.
That's what I was gonna say. Gotta get the finance committee behind us.
Uh-huh.
We gotta get the finance committee on our side.
But that wasn't part of the ballot though this time around.
Yeah, they had not recommended it. It was 5-3.
But
But it
say that-
wasn't on the
it didn't say
ballot.
that-
It
say that
wasn't
in
even on the
ballot.
documentation that was sent out.
So in the,
I didn't get any documentation, by the way.
Yeah, the mail stuck to us.
it's already gone. So are you talking a flyer or the ballot?
Ballot and flyer, because it just said recommended by selectmen. It didn't have a recommendation concerning finance
Ballot didn't say
committee on
anything
it
about
at all.
finance
They
committee.
definitely didn't recommend it.
Okay, so the ballot never has the finance recommendations on it.
But the flyer does, so I guess I
The
didn't look
flyer, the flyer should have, I thought I proofread it, but
Okay.
the flyer should have talked about, the article should have been in bold. Underneath it should have said recommended by the selectmen and given you the tax impact. Then the selectmen purpose would have been next, and after that would have been the finance committee's recommendation or not recommendation and why. So you should.
So I'll go back and read that then.
And the mailer's online if you wanted to, I could actually pull it up, that's right too. I think it was, I don't remember their reasoning why, but I can find it for you if you wanna.
See, I waited till Tuesday's mail to see if I was gonna get it. Well, I better go vote.
It came last Thursday.
I got mine Saturday.
Maybe I'll get it
What
tomorrow.
was I after? Oh, yeah.
And I got two, actually. Maybe I got yours.
Maybe.
You get mine then?
So then does that necessitate an advocacy by us or whomever when the finance committee is sitting down doing the budget to say, here's our reasoning, this needs to happen, it's 16 years old or whatever it is?
Yeah, maybe we should put a statement together from the planning board or something.
So when,
Well, that's
so
what
when
they
they,
get
what
to
they
do.
do is, so at the,
Yeah.
I went to I go to every one of the finance meetings. And when it comes time to the budget or the warrant articles, I make an appointment so that the fire chief can come in and he talks about his budget and his articles. Benji will come in, the chief of police comes in. And I think that's where we should maybe, because there was a lot of, I don't want to say assumptions, but there was a lot of, the questions weren't answered, I guess. Just trying to find. what
So
it said.
maybe on our half, we could do a little slight research to say what's the norm, what's normative for towns concerning master plans and how often do
She
they?
just said they have to
Well-
be done every 10 years
Well, the state,
by the state law, right?
State says it should be
the
done
state
every
has highly
7.
recommended they
Should be,
done
it's
every 10
recommended.
years.
10 or 7?
I think
It's
it's
10.
It used to be 7. They changed it to 10. It used to be mandatory 7, but then they
Yes.
changed it to recommended at 10.
Recommend maintenance
So
law.
so this is where they
We
didn't.
have for
Yeah,
16 years.
And this is, they didn't recommend it. It says the committee believes there are more critical funding priorities this year. The committee members in the minority believe having a current master plan is a useful tool for the planning board and that upgrading the master plan is overdue, considering the changes in the town over the past 15 years. So that was,
It's not just the planning board, but that's okay.
yeah, master plan
Yeah.
would affect a lot of.
right, but they still somewhat supported it, if you read their article.
Yeah, yeah.
But they also, I mean, it wasn't like it was a slam dunk one way, it was
Yep.
5-3-1. So, you
It was
know,
almost a split vote. Yeah.
it was almost a split, because 4 votes, so. But yeah, you can find it if you wanted to, online.
I'll remember that next
So
year.
then when do they start their work for?
October.
So that's when we
So
should
with
have it
this-
on our docket for this fall.
And Bruce went to CIP with it, which he's on the CIP, explained it, CIP granted it and it passed it forward. And then it goes from there,
Here.
then everybody, it goes to you guys, and then you guys to the selectmen, then the selectmen to the finance. It's a long, but to have people there to answer questions, or what I found helpful is the department heads use this year, so they plugged in a laptop, and it comes up on here, and there was statistics in other departments, but you could put together some sort of form and be part of the committee items, Parks and Rec did, for the skateboard park.
Right.
And that was not as much as that, you know what I mean?
Just show the cover page from the last master plan. It says 2006 on it. That should be enough.
And then quote the RSA.
I did that at the deliberative session.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll plan on going all of them again this coming year, so, you're welcome to, I can let you know, because we have to split it between town and school. The town gets some time and the school gets some time for the finance committee, so. But I usually packed everybody in and kind of moved them along. But I also kept them focused so that they only did their part and not the global, all the town budget, so. But I'm willing to, if you wanna do some educational forums, we can hold them in the town hall. Remember we did that with the highway garage,
Yeah.
you know, just information. Just a thought.
We need to do something.
Okay.
Because 16 years is a long time.
17 years. next
Lots
time.
Yeah,
changed in that.
Yeah, a lot's changed.
So since we're not gonna have that to work on this year, maybe we can,
Yeah, Pastor Bill had an idea, didn't you? Didn't you have something you want to work on?
What?
I don't know.
I can't speak it right here.
one thing
Wow.
I'd like to work, I mentioned it last year, and it was one of the things I was gonna work on last year, but when I got into the rental ordinance and what we had to do with that, it became a little, doing anything else was a little aggressive, so. I'd like to work on a better mixed-use ordinance. And coming up with where we could have more mixed-use type uses.
Yeah, because a lot of the cry was commercial, I don't know where you put it, but, you know what I mean? But you're right, if you look at,
Did we finish this? Wetlands setback?
Nope, that's on my list.
No,
That was gonna be one of my topics. I got 3 ideas.
okay,
Some people are gonna hate some of them. One is private roads. We passed that one article 2 years ago.
what did the House do?
Pardon me?
Didn't the state just do something?
They did? I knew they were talking about it, but I don't know if they did anything.
I'll look it up, keep going.
So we passed an article on private roads, I don't remember what it was, so we could create a private road with a conditional use permit, I believe it was, something like that.
right.
But there's the other part in there that's already previously in there saying you can't build a private road, so our whole conditional use permit didn't mean anything. Basically wiped out our idea.
Right.
One would be to expand on the conditional use private road, and 2, get rid of the other part of the other article.
Clean up the conflict.
Yes. I was telling Pastor Bill earlier,
Let's see.
I'm doing a job in Belmont. It's kind of challenging. Belmont hasn't had zoning much longer than we have. It's on the Belmont Golf Course. The guy bought the golf course, he wants to keep the golf course, but he paid so much for the golf course that he has to sell some land. Basically what it comes down to. So if I get to do a subdivision. Instead of your normal everyday clusters type subdivision, we're trying to do a condominium where we would have a little private road with 9 two-bedroom, single-family condominiums. And I didn't mention this private bill, but there's a spot between the clubhouse and those existing houses to the right. Put 3 single-family houses in there. The 3 single-family houses is not a problem with the zoning. But the way the way their cluster's written is similar to ours. You can't do condos, basically, because you have to have 30,000 square foot minimum lot size. 150% of the regular lot is the maximum lot size, so you can't be, in that case, more than 4.5 acres. Well, that doesn't fit. I can't do a 30,000 square foot condominium and keep the golf course, for one thing. And I can't do a 4.5 acre lot and keep and put the golf course on it. So there's so many conflicts, it's ridiculous. So where I'm going is, I think we should be able to somehow allow what I'm talking about in Belmont.
To have it here, you mean?
Yes, except for the golf course part. What's wrong with a private road and having 9,
Gain,
pardon me?
What are you gaining with that private road?
The town, nothing. Town not gaining or losing anything
So-
to the private road.
Yeah, but what's the contractor or the owner, what's he gaining with the private road?
Nothing.
And why would you want to allow it?
Well, you can make it a little bit narrower. You can get down to
Well,
20,
I'm saying-
in this case, he can get down to 20 feet because he only has 9 lots.
So if it's a private road, you don't have to comply with the specs, is that what you're saying?
Sometimes,
You supply, all but the width. They let us go down to 20 feet wide. Belmont's 24 feet everywhere. They let us go down to 20 feet wide. And they let us go to 10% rather than 8%, which we need there also.
Wouldn't a gravel road be the most economic?
Nobody wants to buy a house on a gravel road.
No?
So what's Collins Landing considered?
that's a private road.
That's a private road.
Right,
Some
You can't do
towns-
that anymore.
Yeah,
that we can't do that anymore.
right. Some towns don't want private roads. They have some geometry restriction on a private road so that it doesn't meet the town road standard, so that the town can never be forced to take it over. And usually it's only one or two things that are different.
What's the object?
Well, it
So-
saves money for the town doesn't maintain it.
Yeah,
Saves money for the developer. Hopefully get some,
enough to be worthwhile?
hopefully, well, if you're putting 9 houses on 700 feet of road, yes.
And
So
hopefully
how-
cuts it down
So
to
what's the frontage required, 100 feet? Well, there is none.
on the
30
clusters written in.
30 feet between buildings.
Oh, okay. So it would comply with our cluster regulations, but be on a private road,
Right.
Yes.
whatever they are.
So how does that work?
Except there's no lot size.
Yeah,
There's no lot lines.
well,
Find it.
if you're putting in wells and septic, there's gonna be some minimum, no?
It's all one lot. It's all condominium
Oh, it's all
association.
one lot,
Condominium association owns the whole thing.
all right.
So are you looking at, making this available for condominiums? No.
Each two-bedroom, single-family condominium is what we're doing, trying to do.
But what he's talking about here is the private road issue,
Yeah.
how we can
And the
make that.
condominium idea.
Yeah,
Well, the
So-
private road issue then allows you to put those in where you couldn't if it were a
Hmm,
non-private road.
not really.
So
So-
And I think, I mean, if we
The
look at it
private-
as a whole, I mean, there's other benefits. We could,
The private road keeps the town from maintaining it.
yeah.
You have, the condominium association has to have a dues that's gonna hopefully get enough money to pay for the road reconstruction and
So is
redoing.
this like those old, those 55 and up community things you see
Yeah.
popping up in Goffstown?
yeah,
Yeah.
you know, people are converting those left and right. Those just don't work. Somebody inherits one that's only 45 years old, they get kids, I mean, they're tough. And one of the benefits they were going with those was wastewater flow, because the state gave them a break on the wastewater flow in those things, but the wastewater flows in those isn't what the state thought it was gonna be either.
But you don't have to have it, you can still have kids that are 55 and over.
All depends how it's written, yeah,
Yeah, by state law you can.
yeah.
Well, those two developments in Goffstown, down by the Y, is that similar to what you're talking about?
Yeah, the
Melvin
place,
Village?
yeah, across from,
There's two of them there.
Those are mobile homes, right?
no,
No,
well, I was,
across from
I was thinking across
St.
from
Augustine's.
There may be some
Yeah, I
mobile
was
Yeah.
thinking
homes.
of
Across from the villa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Across from the villa you're talking about.
No, not right by the YMCA.
By the Y, yeah, that's all mobile homes in there.
yeah.
No.
They're all on pads. There's not a foundation in there.
I didn't know what's going on beside the
Oh, I
YMCA.
guess
Well,
you're right. Yeah, but I don't,
There's two different
It's
developments
same.
on each, one on each side of that.
Yeah, yeah. Kilmartin did both of them from New Boston, yeah.
well, they certainly represent, if you're looking for workforce housing, well, you can't do it if you're 55, but, I mean, they're very economical, and then it's
Yeah.
not bad, it's a pretty decent place. Pretty clean looking, they run a good show there. I guess right now, you could put that in Ware, right? There's nothing to prevent.
Can't do a private road,
So
so your condominium's
Those are
kinda,
all private roads.
when we were thinking, when we first started talking about this 2 years ago, whatever it was, we had a particular lot in mind
Yes.
that they just kept adding
yes,
off of River Road, right?
right.
So say Ann's Drive, if they wanted to throw in another house on there, they can't.
Oh, they're getting a variance.
Okay.
That'd be well-
But so then how does it work then if, say, on Worthley Road, it came to the end at this, and it's now extended through the woods? It's not town
That's a class
maintained,
6 road.
That's a class
Right.
6 road, so it is a town road.
but I don't think it was brought up to, I may be wrong, I don't think it was brought up to spec in order to,
As far as road standards? No.
Yeah.
No.
It was not.
It's not.
in order to build the house out there.
Right. That was brought up to like essentially NFPA standards, to meet the NFPA rules.
Right, because I was having a conversation with someone else who was considering on Barnard Hill Road on this end, not up from the top, from the bottom going up, that it stops in a particular place, and then I said, you may have to improve the road in order to consider,
Oh, going down Huntington Hill?
Nope.
no, before you even
114
get to the
side.
top of that.
Oh,
On
okay.
14 side?
Yeah.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, I think he's coming in for conceptual for
Yeah.
April. Because he wanted to make another lot. I think he bought the old, wasn't that John Brown's house at the
Yep.
end? Yeah,
Yeah.
on the left. Gary Remillard was on the right, and now it's, Randy Bello.
So, I know that's not a private road, but it's still,
Yeah, it's a class 6 road too.
we still have those parameters that we put in, even though we say we can't do it. We still have the parameters in the zoning right now, because it got voted in.
That's-
We
and
just need to police and clean up the concept.
So were you looking at private roads or both? Private,
I was
private
looking
roads in
private.
class
I was
6?
looking at private.
Private, okay.
You know what, ZBA
If you're
had
gonna,
a
if you're
class
gonna,
6.
if you're gonna put a subdivision of class 6, go ahead and upgrade to a 5.
Oh, yeah,
In
no,
my
they,
opinion.
they have to get permission from the selectmen too,
Just
so.
build a class 5 road right top of the class 6. Upgrade it.
Yeah.
That's allowed, that's easy, done it many times. Well, it's not easy, but,
Yeah.
The process is in place already.
yeah, there's a process.
So we got mixed use, wetlands, private roads. What else is on your list? Don't be
You ready?
afraid.
Yeah, I'm, go ahead, what do you got there?
Okay, you already told us you. So, a 5-acre rural lot allows one house, right? With 4 bedrooms, right?
Up to 4.
Up to 4. So why couldn't you put 2 2-bedroom duplexes on a 5-acre lot and have 4 bedrooms?
Okay, because your article,
Oh,
Yeah, we
just conceptually idea, don't look at the zoning.
I'm thinking, I'm looking
Okay.
over at that wall.
Oh.
Because it's 14, 14,
Whereabouts you looking?
I'm just thinking.
Okay.
I can envision it. So 14.3 talks about it's per minimum lot size.
Yes,
So a duplex would have to take 10 acres.
that's what it says, yes,
Right.
right now.
Right. So
So
your
instead of saying-
is
instead of
taking,
saying- Instead of saying 5 acres gives you a lot, say 5 acres gives you 4 bedrooms. Therefore, 5 acres can also give you two-bedroom duplexes.
5 acres and 4 bedrooms.
7.5 acres give you 2 3-bedroom duplexes.
Right, that's fine.
Well, you're already, whether it's a 2-acre lot or a 5-acre lot, depending on the zone maybe, you're allowed an auxiliary apartment, so you're allowed really a duplex anywhere.
No,
Well, the
Accessory
accessory
apartment.
apartments
Nowhere near a
is 750
duplex.
square feet.
accessory apartment's only 750 square feet.
Yeah,
That's tiny.
that is tiny.
It's big enough for me, but, yeah, it's tiny.
Yeah, but it is, yeah, nonetheless, we are, you know, depending on,
Well, the accessory apartment though, the homeowner has to live in the building.
Right.
I'm just gonna say, who checks that?
It's in the,
I'm just saying.
it's a requirement.
I know.
that's
Right.
not good.
No, I'm not saying it's not good.
No, I'm not saying it's not
That
good, I
separates
just
that from a
don't-
duplex. A duplex, a homeowner can live 5
Well,
towns
I
away.
understand a duplex is like 2 the same size.
Well, it could be different sizes, but the homeowner, it doesn't have to live there.
Yeah.
But in your, you'd have to, you're looking at making a change in the rural ag. Your residential allows slopes and soils, so your 5 acre gets you the
I
duplex.
was using rural ag as a concept, it's
Right.
simple to
But I'm
understand,
just,
5
if
acres.
you go through with it, it's not a flat statement, you'd have to fix just the rural ag part.
Why not do it with the residential? It'd be more.
Because you can already get
It'd
it.
be more appropriate, no, because you need double density to get the second unit.
Right, but if you have a 5 acre,
Okay, if you have a 2.5 acre lot. And I was using rural ag because it was an easy concept for
I
everybody
was
to get around to the 5
fixated on the
acres.
5 acres, that's why. Because it works in a
You
residential to
gotta,
do a
you're
duplex.
doubling a lot no matter where it is.
Okay, that's
No,
it.
I'm cutting.
No,
I'm-
no,
I'm-
right now, the current
Right now,
zoning-
we have to.
Right, so my argument to him was the 5 acres,
I know.
you can do residential and do his duplex and residential, because it's around 2 acres, yeah.
If 3 of it's wet, you can't.
Did you say good? I'm just kidding.
But,
No,
but instead of saying the lot has to have a 4-bedroom house on it, or can have a 4-bedroom house on it, why not say two-bedroom duplexes? It's the same,
you guys have to think about that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 small houses.
Duplex
What's
with
the number of bedrooms?
four-bedroom
One
duplex.
house and
It's a better way to say it.
I think
Convert the
thought
thing
was
instead of
is
saying
2
units to
smaller houses could be
No,
duplexes.
bedroom.
No, I understand, but
Right.
what's the parameters
what
for
articles is
1 bedroom,
now?
4 houses? I mean,
remember?
one,
1 bedroom, 4 houses, there you
One
or
go.
bedroom.
1-bedroom houses, we could do that too.
what was the purpose of that? Why was
Well,
that?
the state won't let you do anything
Yeah.
smaller than a 1.5-bedroom house.
Right.
I mean, was it designed to cut down on,
Yeah.
there had to be a purpose behind it.
They won't let you do, for
4-bedroom?
flow, for the
What was the
sewage
purpose
flow.
of
State
5
septic.
acres, 1
Because they
bedroom,
figure if it,
or 1 house,
The
4
way the
bedrooms?
state
one
subdivision
bedroom
is
house
written,
is
it's,
gonna have a washer and
the
dryer and
lot has to
dishwasher.
be, if it's
It's-
state
it's
subdivision approval, you have to
the basic
prove you can
appliances,
handle a
so that
4-bedroom house
counts as
septic.
something.
You have to prove to the
And then
state.
really
you
only
only
one
own
bedroom.
bedrooms. That
Yeah.
So it's
doesn't
septic
matter.
only.
Yeah, there's really only one bedroom, but they
Bedrooms
make you
are
do it
based
as a
on
1.5 because of those
Okay.
other.
I'm sorry,
uses.
septic is based on bedrooms, there we go.
Yes,
Yes,
4-bedroom, 600 gallons a day.
Yep.
okay.
What about tiny houses?
Ooh,
Tiny, the
Because
state's,
I had someone ask about
the
tiny
state's
houses.
working on that.
Okay.
Here's the deal with the.
Somebody asked me about
The
that.
DES is doing tiny houses. Here's what they're doing.
Okay,
A tiny house, it has to have, for someone, it either has to have tanks, holding tanks in
Yeah.
it for water and sewer,
yeah,
or be tied into water and septic.
Because they can't have wells, and they're not a tiny house?
No, a lot of tiny houses, when you, these tiny houses you see advertised and bought, they don't have tanks in them.
I don't think they have any, yeah, they don't have,
They don't
yeah.
have storage tanks in them.
Right.
So that, if
they
they
get their
put
water.
storage tanks in them, then they can use them as tiny houses,
You put
but
a storage
otherwise you
tank
gotta
in it.
tie into water and sewer. And you can't hook it up to a house, because the minute you go hook it up to the house, you gotta put a foundation under it, because it's gonna tear itself apart. You can't have one floating and one not.
About composting.
And where, you can't have two separate dwellings on one lot.
Right,
So it has to be tied into the house, so they either gotta put it on piers, or, and you gotta,
I just was curious, I didn't know what the state was doing, somebody asked about it, that's all.
yeah, the state's really coming up with a definition of, if
Okay.
it's got a holding tanks, okay.
So
So it's kind
what,
of like your
what,
mobile
yeah,
like a
truck,
camper.
your
what,
mobile
what,
frickin' food.
what distinguishes
Gotta have a
a
holding
tiny
tank
house
to do it.
from
Yeah.
a camper?
Right, I was thinking that,
Yeah,
tiny
Yeah.
house from a camper,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's essentially what it is.
yeah,
Correct.
yeah.
fancy.
But we
But the
don't
problem with
permit
the,
that.
but the problem with the
Oh,
tiny
yeah. Well,
houses
listen.
is that they're not built by, campers are built, that the manufacturers are
Yeah, you've got a sticker on the
certified because
side,
they
yeah,
have that
that's right.
Yeah.
plaque on them, says they're
Right.
built under the association
Yeah,
certification.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Tiny homes, anybody can build them.
Right.
Live in a chicken coop.
County home's not on wheels either, right?
No, you know, wheels.
I got a deer stand I could live in, but
Yeah, they're usually built on a landscape
Yeah.
trailer,
Yeah,
or by the guys down in wherever it is.
yeah, that's the biggest problem with them, is they're built under the no code.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Well,
If you're living in it.
Yeah, no, I've seen them advertised too, I just was curious. But someone this week asked about them, and I said, well, we haven't done anything with them. I mean,
so what do you
I
call
didn't
that,
encourage either
Craig?
way.
I have no idea.
Would be a dimensional requirement, wouldn't it be?
Pardon me?
Wouldn't it be like dimensional,
Lot requirement, or
under the lot sizing?
I don't know.
Gotta give it a title for
I would
some
just try to
reason.
have a concept and there's,
No, I know, we were trying to fit them in here, trying to figure out where.
where would it fit? Would it
Maybe we
fit?
should do the master plan first.
Chuck.
I don't know who's,
gonna pay for
We'd
it?
like to, Chuck.
Chuck's paying for it.
well, we'll get it through next year.
There's a couple things we could do
I mean,
before the
there was
master
no,
plan.
no real push on this master plan thing. It was like,
No one knows what it is.
Hmm?
No No one knows what it is. Most people have no idea master plan, what the hell does that mean? They don't know what it is.
So what do you got, Craig?
What about yours?
My guess it's 14.2 parentheses 2. It says where condominium, duplex, or multifamily housing is proposed, the requirements of table 1.1 shall apply for each dwelling unit. I think that's what I want to change.
So are these people trying to put in
What are you looking at?
duplex?
Page 21.
Yes, page 21, top of page 21.
We just had two sisters,
Right?
did it lot side by side.
I mean,
And they
duplex is
connected.
one house, but it's actually two living areas in it.
Yeah, what, we've seen I like the idea of the duplex, honestly, with a garage at the ends. Because you really just, you have the house, then you have your garage over here, you got the house, you got the garage over here. Because we've got the one,
Ones that did a river-
there's one on Pondview that, I think the two sisters, I think they, I don't wanna say pooled their money, but they had enough to build a
They did those
duplex.
3 on River Road like that.
No.
Yeah.
There's one, two on Gould,
Roadhouse,
or on, not Gould,
essentially.
the next road over.
Because actually on
Twin
Old
Bridge.
Town, they did the same thing, because what they'll do is, they'll build a duplex, and then they come back to you for a condex, which is a condominium, and then they can sell the other half, and they can do whatever, instead of always be tied together. They become two separate buildings. Is that similar to what you're thinking about? Kind of like a
That's
condo?
where I was going
Yeah.
eventually,
Yeah.
but first I
Yeah.
was trying to get around the bedroom idea to get,
No. I
to make
just-
it possible to have them. Because right now you can't do it.
What would be the benefit to be able to do it? I mean,
Better, cheaper housing.
Help with the workforce housing situation, and if you limit it to 2 bedrooms, then you're really limiting the number of kids that could be in there.
What's the workforce, I mean, I've heard that,
Something
Standard out
affordable,
there.
something affordable that I could afford.
No, no, I
That
understand
I could
what it
afford to
is.
buy today.
but is it something coming down on every town has to have workforce housing in it?
Is going to,
I think,
because
There already is
right
something
now,
in place, but it
you look
doesn't
at,
work.
you look at the, just look at the age of the people that work for the town. Look for,
You know what I mean for-
look at the age of the people that work in this building or the DPW.
Or this room.
Average age is probably
And the
about
only reason why
52.
those people are still here is because they've been in town for a long time. You're not getting people moving into town to work for the DPW or in here because they can't afford housing.
Yeah.
Well, you know, there's another reason they can't afford the housing, because the contractors don't really wanna build these small houses. There's too much money to be made on the $700,000, $800,000, $900,000 houses.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So you can't really,
Yeah, but if we did that, if we did something like that, we could also include clauses about affordability for the things.
Well, no, just by making it a duplex and having a maximum 2 bedrooms, you've made it affordable.
Right.
you ain't
You
made
can
it
put granite,
affordable.
you can put granite countertops and
people can't
hardwood
build a
flooring and
5-bedroom
everything else
house
you
on
want
that
to in there,
because
but
they
it's
don't
still
Is it
affordable.
gonna be a requirement for the town to have affordable housing?
It is going to be
I think the
required. It's a
state's
matter
gonna
of
come
when.
down.
State's
with
coming there, yeah, it's,
I mean, how are they gonna do, is it gonna say what? State says you have to build so many.
They're working on it now.
which community's not Portsmouth, right?
There's a House bill in there right now. It says
Yeah.
if you got city water, city sewer,
you have to allow 4 units an acre,
you have to have, 4 units an acre.
It's an acre.
period.
Now, wouldn't that have to get, now, didn't the town, what did the town pass? What was the town?
We have some city water, city sewer here in the middle of town.
Not much.
Not much.
The,
It won't be
the,
any good.
No, I'm just saying.
yeah, I
There
think
is-
we
it
got
is in
2 or 3
town.
houses on it, yeah.
It's tiny, but it is in
So-
town.
So if it has city water, does that mean if the town has city water, then it has to be in all the town, or does it have to be in the area that has city water?
The lot has to be serviced by city water, city sewer.
Oh, so if it's gonna be affordable housing, essentially.
That's the way
what
the
it
state
is.
law is, yes,
It has to be tied to city.
yeah.
That's their foot in the door. That was their way to get it started because
That's-
I'm
that's-
sure they calculated that the areas that have city water, city sewer.
What does affordable housing do to the property values of other people? That's the issue. Yeah, you start having affordable housing, who do you have living there down the street, and then what's that do to your property value?
Would it hurt your property value to have duplexes on top of the hill instead of houses?
It would hurt my property value to have houses and duplexes on top of it. To be honest with you, if I'd been here 6 months earlier, or a year earlier, I would have bought that place. But regardless,
Yeah.
but what does that do to property value?
But the not in my backyard mentality is why they're tackling it at the state. Because the towns have proven that they won't do it. It's been 50 years since zoning started getting adopted statewide in New Hampshire, and it's only gone backwards. It's only getting more stringent, and more stringent, it makes lots bigger and bigger and bigger, and drive the cost of the houses up.
Yeah.
No one has ever done anything.
Well, I mean, I don't see how you can say that.
We went- we
I
went
asked
to-
the assessor, if a lot is, I got a 3/4 acre lot that's assessed for 80,000, and I got a 5 acre lot that's assessed for the same money. You know what I mean?
Well, that's
So the
because-
size of the lot isn't saving
Road
anybody anything.
frontage or
A lot is a
something
lot
like
is a
that.
Yes, it is.
I don't think so.
If you have to build 250 feet of road for a lot, right, in the rural ag?
Is that a fact?
Yeah, we changed that about 5 years ago.
Okay.
At $500 a foot, which is what a road costs,
You're still gonna pay the same for that lot.
you're paying $125,000 to build the road.
Well, the lot size is not gonna save you anything.
No, but you're paying, you're paying $125,000 to build the road. How much you can charge for the lot? It's gonna be more than 125, or else the landowner's not getting any money. And if you're lucky, you can get a house on each side, you can divide that by 2, but you're not gonna be able to get,
Unless you put a private road in.
and make the frontage less than 250. Exactly.
Yeah, but the cluster, what do you need, 100 feet?
Nothing.
Nothing.
There's no,
I think it's, I think
So, I
it's
mean, there are
20.
ways around in this town, but nobody wants to build them. There's just not enough money in it for the contractors. I mean, that's a big issue.
So we're gonna go into business ourselves then?
Pardon?
We're gonna go into business ourselves?
I don't know.
I can't imagine
I
there's
don't
much
think so.
money in it for
Okay.
a contractor right now anyway.
Well, I think, I know what you're getting at, but I just think that.
Well, that's a
several
project to work
impediments to
on.
it.
Yeah, well, it's,
We're not gonna solve it
No.
tonight, so what's the next
We're
one?
not?
What's the next one?
That's all I got.
Well, that was only 2.
no, we
That's
did,
3.
he had wetlands on there.
Wetlands,
Stole my
private road,
wetlands.
and.
He stole your
Oh, that was
wetlands.
yours.
No, it's his.
I wrote it down. And
And my mixed use, don't forget about mixed use.
And mixed use, don't forget mixed use.
Yeah, so I got 4. Mixed use, wetlands, private roads, and
If we get 2 of those covered, I'd be really impressed.
lot requirements.
One of them might be easy, but 2 of them aren't gonna be easy.
So then you should spend, I mean, each work session, we should try to do something. Like, attack 1, I don't think you should attack 4, pick your,
No, we gotta do one at a time. It's not
Right.
gonna be, we can't never get
Right.
anything done doing all 4 at
Right.
once.
and I
Yeah, you
think
should
if I
put out-
watched it last year, didn't some of your, regular hearings get moved to a work session sometimes?
Yes.
So if you keep your work sessions for your work session,
Yeah, we're just gonna remember that. Because that's
I'll
what we
remind
did
you.
with the driveway deal. We put it on the 10th, and then we didn't meet.
Yeah.
and then I
We were
for-
just
and
thinking,
then I
when's the next
forgot.
meeting?
Except if
as
somebody wants
opposed
to
to,
come in for
no, that's not
conceptual,
our
they can come
meeting.
in on a work session.
All right, well, I push your conceptuals onto a regular meeting.
No.
Oh.
We aren't gonna get conceptuals on.
Naomi, is there any profit from the workings of the planning board for the town? Is there any income?
Bet.
Or is it really all the building inspector? Well, what I was getting at is, I mean, we're trying to think of a way to come up with some
Oh, are you
money.
looking at like a fee? So
Yeah.
the planning board fees for lot line adjustment subdivision, it all goes into the general fund?
Oh, it wasn't a general fund?
Yeah, yeah.
And it's supposed to be designed to cover the costs of the town incurs for the fee, for the application. It's supposed to be.
Right.
What's, to turn the lights on in the building?
No, for you for you to
Time to
to
do it.
prepare
Time
the
to
application,
archive
make
and
the
all that.
copies, send out the public notices,
Right.
all that crap. That's what it's supposed
No,
to be for.
no, they cover their recording fees, they cover their
Yeah.
butter notices, but you
But
do charge
you-
per lot.
You still have to stuff the envelope.
Someone does.
Somebody,
Yeah.
right.
Yep, yep,
Costs money.
you're right,
You gotta send it out to,
right.
get it ready.
And,
There's-
and I think your fees at the time, right now, do that, but there
Yes.
is no extra to
No, there
do
shouldn't be.
revenue fund or something like that, if that's what you're talking about.
Well, no, what I was getting at is like the current use taxation, which goes to the
Conservation,
conservation.
you're looking, are you talking
They
like
get
an
it all,
impact
they
fee?
get half- Well, I don't know, I mean,
They get 75%, the town gets 25%.
well, I guess you'd only be robbing Peter to pay Paul,
Yeah.
but maybe we have a GoFundMe,
GoFundMe master
way to
plan.
raise money with it.
That's not a bad idea. Not.
Well, I don't
It's,
know.
engaged citizen to think of the importance of the master plan and give $20.
Might
Well,
might get us on
come up with
TV
enough
too.
According to the vote at town meeting, they really don't care about how much your taxes are. So.
Obviously they
Yeah.
don't.
No.
But I'm saying they don't understand what a master plan is. They have no idea. I'll tell you half of them are going, I don't know. They don't know what a master plan is. No idea.
Nope.
Or its value or its purpose. But they'll spend money like there's no tomorrow.
Well, in the meantime, the existing one we have holds sway, right?
Still in the library.
A little bit.
Yep.
Yeah, but how is it relevant? I mean,
Right, because
you know,
is the
Von
land,
Schlieffen still, you know, they followed the
Have you
Von
ever read it?
Schlieffen plan in '39. It worked for a little bit, but then it's failed again.
Have you ever seen the master plan?
No.
No.
I may have perused it.
Well, it would interest you.
It's on the
I'm sure.
Oh, I'm
website.
sure I need it.
it's on our website too, yeah.
I don't know how many copies there are around.
One,
Not many?
one.
Yeah,
I think the library
I
has
have
one.
one.
I got one.
All right, there you go.
In fact,
I haven't got
we
to
had
see- I
3 or
haven't got
4
to-
master plans. I got a copy
Oh, you
of
were
all of them.
original, you were,
You got the original one? No.
I got
No,
Paul
I know
Mo-
the
got Paul Mo-
05.
I got Paul Moran's.
Okay. Yeah, because I
might
know
have the
we have,
original
the
one.
library has one, and then, I think Maureen's got one, she has to have one, and then I know it's on the website.
you gotta pay Staples $100
It's on my
to print it
computer
out.
right now.
Yeah,
There's a lot of maps in it, so it's hard to, because the maps are this big, and then you gotta fold them in, so it's colored maps. Black and white map
Oh,
does
so
nothing in there,
quite
yeah.
a document.
It is.
Yeah.
It's about this thick. 361 pages or something. It's on our website.
I didn't count them.
We should probably all familiarize ourselves with it. We're gonna,
I mean, I can
good
put
idea.
together a black and white one for you,
I've got one.
double-sided. Let's see.
I can do
What is it,
that.
like
Bedford,
10
I can do
chapters?
that. Just stick it in there and
10
hit the button and
uh,
run away.
I can't remember.
And get back before anybody else does.
Kills enough paper in the paper tray.
Yeah, and get back before anybody else sees it.
Well, a few years ago, we were talking about taking one section at a time.
That's what I wondered if that's what you were talking about.
And,
That's what the 20 grand was for, to take it. That's what we wanted the 20 grand for, to take about a third of it.
well, what is it, 10 or 12 chapters?
10, I believe, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
So Craig, you mentioned a third or part of it that you thought would need to be looked at.
Everybody's talked to me about transportation for one.
So maybe that's an area that we could at least
The
review,
fire-
review the statement and then potentially talk about it. I mean, Bruce doesn't want to, but
The,
if we're taking it a piece at a time, maybe we can say, at least this year, we could look.
yeah, part of it, I mean, the whole time, it's difficult because, like, let's just talk about the fire department for a minute. 20 years ago and before, they existed to put out fires. Today, they don't. All the houses that were gonna burn down are burned down. All the old houses that are gone.
Hey, wait a minute.
He lives in one.
They've been worked on, otherwise they've been updated.
No,
They're not gonna have electrical fires.
It's
not
about
gonna-
19.
People have spent a lot of money to keep some of
wasn't,
them.
No, it wasn't.
The ones that were in neglect, that, a lot of them, those are burnt. So they don't put out fires like they used to, they don't have the fires. So now it's rescue.
That's true.
Well, they've been,
You know, and as the population ages, the rescue part's gonna get more and more.
So,
Yeah, we
Yeah,
did
I
it
think-
March
I'm just saying,
24th,
the
2005.
whole
So you
I've been
have,
here, you
scope of work of the fire department has
you have
changed.
regional,
The average
community
age
values,
when I moved to
population,
town was
housing.
34.
Population in 2000.
really?
Average age
8,000.
When was that?
in 2002.
2005 would have been less than that.
And
We
now,
barely
I just
got
checked
to
it
10.
2 weeks ago, it's 42.
So 10
Oh, yeah?
years before
Is
was
that
2010.
The
was
average
when-
age of
is when
people
you
in
know,
town.
Would have thought higher than that.
well, that makes
And
sense.
still, the greatest population, number-wise, are people under 20. And the least, and I'm pretty sure this still holds, where is one, either 3 from the bottom, as far as people over 60.
Did you forget? Oh, no, you had a meeting.
I teach tonight.
That's right. You had to get some people smart.
Is he a member of the board?
He still
still am.
is.
Okay.
Till Monday.
No,
have
until
to.
Monday, because Friday is the recall day.
Yep.
They have till Friday for recall,
Then I'll be a member of
recounts.
the board anyway.
And you gotta get reappointed.
While they're doing that, it'll be on next
We
week.
can do that the same day.
Do it the same-
Kick you out and bring you back in the
That's
same
right,
day.
same day. Then you'll get a new ex officio.
Yes.
I don't know who yet. Which one we looking at, transportation?
Yes.
Well, no, I'm just looking at the sections of it.
What's that for the state?
I don't know
Oh,
what the,
okay, yes, chapter 8 talks about transportation, which talks about roadway classification, traffic flow, crash data analysis, traffic issues, road surface management program, alternative modes of transportation.
it's changed a little bit.
Oh, no, it definitely has changed.
There's no doubt
I'd
it's
like to go
changed.
see what the alternative mode was in 2005.
Bicycles.
Horse and buggy.
Just after horse and buggy.
But you'd still, I mean, you could still get your, I'm sure there's
be
updated
all
crash
e-bikes.
data analysis. And then
Oh,
there's traffic issues, traffic flow, it's sure has changed. You add subdivisions to an intersection
I don't
and,
want to do a half job of a chapter and say we got it done. And then if we do get money, say, well, we don't need to worry about that one, we did it.
well, the community facilities probably could be a quicker update, which is chapter 7. I mean, we could put
I
together
was
something.
Yeah, but
trying-
the community, let's talk about that one. What's a library?
Well, no, I'm just saying, it says,
Building with a bunch of books in it.
it says public works, recreation, education, all that has changed since 2005.
But the library used to be where there was 1,000 books and you don't
Library,
pick up books.
municipal
That's not
building.
what
Well,
they are
yeah, but nobody
anymore.
looks at them.
So Craig, what other areas did you think besides transportation?
That's the one that came off the top of my head.
Yeah, I think it's, well,
I know it's changed drastically in 16 years.
Why is that? Why is transportation
traffic.
top of your list? I'm just curious.
I just know it changed a lot.
It's noticeable every time you
It's
drive.
changed a lot in the last 16
5
years.
minutes makes a big difference in an intersection.
I mean, the intersection traffic is all different every.
We need a roundabout.
We don't even have a blinking light anymore.
Yeah, we lost our blinking light. I remember a couple years ago,
Roundabout,
I remember a
where-
couple
where
years ago, I
does-
told somebody to drive up the blinking light, turn left.
You're gonna try to keep up with Goffstown with
Well,
roundabouts.
it's a classification of roads.
Well, I
how
was
the
getting
roads
off
resurfaced.
89, my father-in-law
How the
said,
roads
do you
are
know exit
maintained.
2, they're gonna put a roundabout here?
That's a
Really?
discussion that,
I said, that's ridiculous. All you need to do is make this exit a mile longer,
well,
and and make it twice as
or
wide.
they can always
and you
do
solve
like
the
they did
problem.
years ago. I remember when there was no off-ramp at exit 2.
Yeah.
There was an on-ramp to go north, but there was no off-ramp there at exit 2.
Yeah.
If you wanted to do that, you had to be pretty sharp. You go up to exit 3, turn around, go down around and through that, and turn around, get back on, and then get on the
They
off-ramp.
put it on the wrong
somehow.
side of the road. They should have cloverleafed it and had it come in the other lane.
That's it.
Yeah.
True.
That's because, yeah, on a weeknight, anywhere from 4 o'clock till about 5:30, you
Yep.
can't,
Yep. You're crossing the traffic. If they cloverleafed it, because everybody comes off there, they don't go to Concord.
Yeah.
They come this way.
well,
Where?
unless you get caught in it and you forget,
It's
then I
probably
turn
some
around, I'll go
interesting
down to
information.
Concord, turn around and get back in the lane coming out. Or I'll go, I said, no, I'll go out through and I'll get off
Roads,
at exit
conclusions
12
and
and
recommendations.
come up through, get on
We
through McKee
recommended
Square
that
and come
way.
up Clinton Street that way.
Uses
And
that.
you just, wow, that's a long way around. No, it isn't. It's
When
actually,
it's traffic, I can run across the city.
Exit 14.
Yeah.
Go up through Washington Street,
See,
down
that's
south
all the
to
nice
yeah,
areas
high
and
school.
stuff.
but you have that damn roundabout.
Yeah,
That one
Yeah,
part.
yeah.
it's but yeah, but it's
Franklin,
better than
yeah.
the light at
Yeah,
Clinton Street.
that's true. But it's,
I get way beyond it already.
There's two now there.
was that,
Well, there's one at the top of Central Street, right?
yeah.
But there's all one on Franklin, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they got
there
another
is.
one, that's right. That's right. They just put that in not too long ago.
You know, we were talking about fire, old houses, but I was just told the other day that the new houses will burn a lot faster and hotter than the old houses, than the old wooden frame houses, because of the materials that are in them.
Synthetics.
Yeah, but they're less prone to catch on fire.
But when they do go,
They go.
Yeah.
yeah, it's like, that's why nobody puts aluminum siding on it.
The chimney fires aren't happening anymore. Everybody's fixed their chimneys.
Or don't have
They've
them,
got
new
lined
houses
them.
don't have them.
New ones, they have all
Right.
metal ones. and They
No
don't
one
have.
hasn't.
They have the phony ones that looks like a wooden
Where you got
box.
a pipe sticking
How
out
many
outside
times you
your
hear that
house
when you're a
and
kid?
across the basement.
Chimney fires,
Yeah,
someone's house burned
piece of
down.
I had two
PVC.
in one day.
For the
Two
vent.
houses.
Yeah.
The only one in the center. One went in
My-
the afternoon, the other one went.
My wife's uncle was on Paul Harvey now for the rest of the story, because he had a chimney fire, and he was the fire chief.
I seen that happen up north. Fire chief's house burned with a fire. You know, it was. That's back in the day with some of
And
them.
what's
They
the
said
library
they-
now?
They
Libraries
had a
aren't what
great
they were
volunteer fire department. They never
30
lost
years
a
ago.
cellar hole.
You know, with the internet and all that stuff, and the computer stations, they got people working
I
at,
grew
them,
up.
conference rooms, I mean, it's not,
Little town had a fire department, my house next door
they'd
caught on
like
fire.
to convert more. I mean,
Fire department from neighboring town got there
I know,
first.
but that's part of the.
It was right next door,
Was it,
50 feet away.
as a
Gotta be
kid,
calling
with
the master
up in
plan will address
Jackson,
that.
they had the
Yeah.
Jackson Volunteer Fire Department
Impressive,
across
but it
was
doesn't raise any
an
money.
old inn. Been there forever, and it was in use. I mean, they had the little restaurant, the bar on one end of it, and it burnt to the ground, and it's right across the street. I mean, right across the street. Like, it's like the building there to here, from the fire department. It's half the fire department was in there at the bar and in at the restaurant. The place burned. They never got it out, right in the ground. Like you said, one of the neighboring fire departments sent more people than they did.
So Naomi, question, when is Bruce gonna get reappointed, or is Bruce gonna get reappointed, I guess is the question.
We don't meet again till the 21st.
Oh,
Danny
he's
Jean.
up too?
Danny Jean didn't come on the 7th, she's gonna come on the 21st.
So we could go on the 21st, Bruce can get reappointed, and we could talk about
No,
rentals?
No, I
supposed
got
to
something
do it the
else already on the
following
agenda, he's gonna do it at the following meeting. We already talked today,
When's that gonna be?
April 4th.
Who's doing it? You?
That's fishing season.
Well, and what are you,
Fish aren't
what are
running
you
right
stepping down? You're gonna make Bruce the chairman and you? Well, he already tried to say, he said that to me the last meeting. He says, oh, I mean, we can switch, you could be the chairman. I go, no.
Some towns do that, they alternate chairman back.
Well, they do that for select boards. I know most of them, like if it was your last year on as the selectman, you get to be
You get to
the
be
chairman.
chairman,
Yeah,
yeah.
as you go out the door.
Your parting gift.
Yeah, here's your the parting shot.
You get that extra $200 a year.
Yeah. Yeah,
Not
what,
on
do
this board,
extra?
you know.
So
So-
where's,
This is on this board, you
No,
know.
the selectmen I'm talking about.
Yeah, they don't get
where,
that either.
where is this in the, it's been amended, but it still hasn't been voted on?
Which is that one?
Senate Bill 249 concerning
Yeah, I looked for
Which one
them,
is that for?
that's,
249.
Rental properties
rental.
or-
The
Oh,
rental.
rental, yeah,
I'm not
no.
gonna qualify it.
yeah, I don't-
You won't see that, the last I heard, July.
yeah, because if they don't do something for the March 17th, everything goes till next year.
But I think the way we've,
If it doesn't have a decision, I think it's March 17th is the end for the, and then
Session.
everything goes
they'll-
off till July,
and
which
they-
is the next year.
Yeah, they'll start, next budget season's July 1.
So do you have this document, Bruce? So you
yeah,
can-
I've seen it.
You can.
And the way we're
cheat-
proposing ours, it'll be, I mean, we can do it whether that gets in place or not.
Right.
And then they got another one that's in there, and I got it on private,
I know, I couldn't find that one. What is it?
private and
I did find something else, though.
class 6 roads. And the Senate's got it. I saw it, I got it here, wait a minute.
Oh, it's the Senate. I did the House bills, that's why.
Senate bill.
That's why I didn't see it.
See if I can find it. I tried to screenshot it, and
What's the number, do you know?
I'll tell you that in a second. If I can find it. No, okay, that's why I looked in the wrong place. It's typical.
Are you in the general court area or
No, I
State
downloaded
House.
part of it, so
in the
it's,
State House?
no, I downloaded it in my downloads.
Mm.
I took a screenshot of it.
I never used a screenshot, but
I screwed up with it. But Senate Bill 246, sponsored by Senators Regina Birdsell and Sharon Carson of the New Hampshire Private Road Taxpayers Alliance.
246.
Yeah, that's who it has to do with. But it's going to be, has to do with funding and changing the status of some of it. Well, that's, and I guess they're gonna clean it up, but that one's in there. There's 2 bills, actually. The other one hasn't been come out for yet, so.
What number did you say? 240?
Senate Bill
246.
246. And they got another addendum to it, and I haven't seen it yet. I just happened to run across it, just by dumb luck.
You sure?
Yeah, that's,
That's qualified private communities.
And it also does with private roads. You gotta read, there's an addendum to that, an amendment they tacked on the back end of it, which they haven't finished, but that one's coming. Has to do with the private road taxpayers and about money, also about putting private roads or using class 6
So what,
roads.
private road don't have to pay money taxes, the towns don't maintain the road?
That's what they're trying to get them, a bigger rebate than what.
Really? I send my kids to private school, where's my rebate?
Yeah,
True.
I know.
Well, I mean, it's like Dick Butt brought up at the deliberative.
I
you
did
know,
that too.
He doesn't have kids in school anymore,
Not
but
good.
75% of his taxes goes to
Yeah.
school. I mean, I understand that.
All right, so it says if you live on a private road, the New Hampshire Taxpayers Association needs your help. Important private road legislation passed, starting, yes, on Senate Bill 246 and Senate Bill 250. 246 is mandatory legislation that requires municipalities to ensure that developers of private road communities build the roads to public standards, or that developers
do anyway.
create a capital reserve fund for the benefit of the residents to maintain and ultimately replace the roads. Senate Bill 250 enables municipalities to adopt a tax credit program for private road taxpayers.
Allows them to, doesn't
It
mandate
allows them to. No, and there, and it says,
You know
the
somebody else.
election law and municipal
private roads
affairs
a good
committees
idea.
recommended
Huh?
that Senate Bill
Still a good
250 go to the interim study,
Private
which is
roads.
designed to investigate the
We don't have
content of the
to
bill and
have
make a
new ones.
recommendation.
Well, we've got one.
Oh,
but
then we
Greg's-
go to private
Greg's
road.
idea, Yes or no?
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know,
Upon the states.
250.
That's right now, it's because of the,
it's not a private
Not
road.
a private road, it's
They,
bonded.
the
but what about their covenants?
It's bonded. I don't
covenants
care.
don't make it a private road.
They don't, well, they said it was gonna be.
Yeah, that was I'll explain that to you in a minute.
That's convoluted, another one that went round and round.
All it did was transfer the ownership from one person to another
Yeah,
person.
it was like-
It didn't make it
So
a
that
private
one
road.
person, so the person A didn't have to worry about
It's a shell
getting
game?
adopted.
Yeah, it's a shell game.
So the person A could try to get their bond released, but it won't happen, so that's
Yeah.
okay.
Well, it's like
That's
the
what-
other
that's
one.
what he's trying to do.
That's like, what one?
Look at when the date on that thing was recorded, Jack,
Yeah. Yeah, way
and when the
back,
subdivision was approved.
yeah, way back
They're
when.
10 years apart from each other.
That's, why, you know, what, it shouldn't surprise me, yeah, so.
So minutes?
So minutes? Last one's by Karen.
The only question I had was on page 2, where Marek Rivero, Chairman Fillmore stated water must be, I think you said maybe.
We're looking at,
Middle of the page,
Which page?
It starts with
page
Merrick
2.
Rivero.
Starts with
Yeah.
Marek Rivero.
Midpoint, second
Yeah.
page.
Oh, Vice Chairman said.
I don't
that
think
the
you
food
said it
service
must be.
vehicle-
I'm sorry, yeah.
It may be, because he was saying. he
no,
was-
it must be sourced from a private water, public water system or his own well.
You can't buy water?
It has to be tested. If he gets water test results from Monadnock Water, fine.
Okay.
So that's why I was questioning whether you meant, whether you said that or not.
Yeah, no, I
He
said,
yeah,
I
he
said
did
that.
say must.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the only
Well,
question I had.
Monadnock water would be tested, yeah.
They do have tests.
But if he bought some like water from,
The
in
river?
bottles that came from North Carolina, how you gonna get the
Or
water?
they
Bring
came
down
from,
the
or you
road.
buy the ones at Sam's Club or someplace,
Yeah.
you know, Monadnock Water's got the place over in Wilton, and
Right.
they have the water.
You could probably get their test
And you
results.
get, and they have to be on file, so they have to go.
But if it was not in New Hampshire, this
What was it?
wouldn't be able to get the test
There was
results.
one a while ago that up north that they turned around, they couldn't keep up with demand, they tested it,
Castle Springs or something, probably?
it was in Castle Springs. It had to do with Shorefine was doing it, but it said
Oh.
it was water from up north, and it was actually coming out of the Berlin water,
Berlin Public Water Supply?
filling bottles, and it was, that's a fact. Oh, yeah.
Of all towns to pick.
Well, that's where their facility, bottling
Exactly, that's
facility was.
first
That's
rate
where
one there,
their bottling facility was, and they couldn't keep up with the demands, you know.
Yeah.
And they did it out of there, and that's the last place I'd wanna get water.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Don't eat the fish in the river either.
Well, if you're above the paper plant.
Well, yeah, if you're above it, you're all right.
I had one question about D, actually, the
Question about what?
D, common driveway request. I don't know if it was an omission on our part, but really, what we're granting was the conditional use permit, right?
Yeah. We didn't probably state that properly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was.
Oh, I don't think it came up that way.
No.
It never came up that way, that we were talking about a conditional use permit, even in the previous meeting.
Yeah.
You gonna leave it alone, or?
I abstained.
I mean, I wasn't here, that's why I missed her the second time, I wasn't here that time.
Yeah.
I haven't watched the YouTube things, I mean, I don't know.
I don't think it was mentioned.
We didn't mention it.
And
No.
it,
I don't
Second
remember
meeting.
it, but
and
it was-
and
second
I,
meeting.
as I was reading it, I'm thinking, that's kinda cringing, thinking we didn't mention it either.
yeah.
I guess we'll leave it alone
Never
then.
presented that way when they
volunteer.
came the first time, that they were here for a conditional use permit. It was never presented like that. It was presented that they had a common driveway request.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that was because of what came out of,
Well, according to the
Building
zoning,
offices
you
for
guys have to
their
approve
advocate.
common driveway requests.
With the, as part of a conditional use permit, yeah.
Okay, because I think on Article 4 describes the common driveway and says that you guys have to approve common driveways.
Isn't that
It's
what you
Article
did when you
4
came
under
here?
definitions, Bill.
Isn't that what happened when you came here?
Yeah, they did, but there's also a conditional use part. Your common driveway definition says that the planning board has to approve it, which is where I sent her.
All common driveways must be approved by the planning board.
Yeah.
I guess,
Period.
I guess we did.
so that's,
Sounds like you did.
Approve the common driveway.
Right, so they requested a common drive. Because typically, wouldn't common driveways be approved on a plan?
And we had taken that approach initially. We were under the assumption that for a common driveway to get in place, it had to be on a plan. And we had to consult with town council to, and got advice from them that someone can come in strictly for a common driveway.
Okay.
We didn't think that was the case
Yep.
initially.
yeah. Well, plus this was kind of unique in the first place, because the easement for the driveway is on their property,
Right.
not on,
Right.
not a common piece of
I
property.
think the one that was using it
Right.
was the one that, they came here and got the permit to use their own easement.
Right.
Really?
Seemed to- I know,
Seems a little awkward,
yeah.
Little,
but they're
Awkward.
trying to dot all the i's,
yeah.
cross the t's so they can get their house started.
Okay. We good with the minutes then?
Any more discussion?
Move we accept the minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Yeah.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Oh, Ray did call me, or text, email me, and said he couldn't make it, by the way.
Yeah. Are you
Anything else?
abstaining, or what are you gonna do? on that?
I can't.
I'm gonna put him as an abstain, that was his first night.
Oh, whose seat was he filling?
Wouldn't fill anybody's seat.
Oh,
No, he wasn't.
True, true.
yeah.
Well, he did for Chuck's for a couple minutes to warm it up.
Yeah, yeah, he did that the other time, so.
Yeah, for the kid. He was in on a tattoo business.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Hey, she just
Motion
wants
adjourned
to
at
people over once in a while.
8:05.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.